Hi, my name is Isabella,
My name's Riley.
and you're watching the Share Podcast.
You play to win, I play to fight. Let's drop the man-side samurais.
Welcome, everybody, to an exclusive edition of the Sheriff Podcast. Guys, when I was 14 years old, I was able to attend my first Ontario Hockey League game. It was the Oshawa Generals against the Peterborough Petes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there was one player in particular that I was really amazed with. Now, this gentleman not only was leading the team in goals, but was the best body checker and fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 years later, I would be dropping the gloves with the same player that turned out to be such a great role model to me and friend. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, I would like to introduce to you my guest tonight. He hails from Wingham, Ontario, at 6 feet tall, 225. He is a heavyweight with over 400 pro games. He is a former Toronto Maple Leaf. He played pro in 3 different countries, turned pro boxer, won his debut fight decision by TKO, currently a firefighter at Bruce Power in Tiverton, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my friend Nathan Perrott. How are you doing today, my friend?
Thanks. I'm actually a little taller than 6 feet.
Well, you know, it says 6 feet on Hockey DB, but to be
Yeah,
honest
I
with you,
know.
buddy, I wanted to give you a little bit of a jab because you got the better of me in our last fight on the ice. So
Oh, I don't
that's
know.
just-
It was back and forth. We probably fought. I was trying to count. I think we fought at least 8 times, maybe more.
you know what?
Yeah.
If it was 8 times, it was because we played 8 games.
Yeah, it seemed like every time we played, we fought. So we were in Rochester for an exhibition game, and the night before we came, it was an afternoon game, and the coach said, "You're not playing tomorrow." So I was like, "Okay, well, I might go have a beer."
Okay.
And it tasted like 2 or 3 more, and you know, I got back to the hotel probably later than I should have.
Yeah.
I walked in, and the coach said, "Oh, we had an injury somehow in the middle of the night. You got to play today."
You got to play.
And it's an afternoon game. And I'm thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to fight John tomorrow." And sure, yeah, I don't want to swear, but sure, like we ended up fighting, and I think I just tried to hold on to you as best I could, but yeah.
Well,
it was
I
a
mean,
rough one.
I've been surprised a couple times in similar situations. The key is that usually when you play guilty, you do pretty good.
Yeah.
That's my experience anyway. I don't know about
Yeah.
you. I know
Oh,
you
and
have some guilty games.
Well, you can do it once in a while, but if you try to make a habit of it, it'll catch up to you for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, Nathan, I just wanted to point out again how excited I am to have you here today. I mean, you're a former Toronto Maple Leaf. There's a big game tonight. What I wanted to do was I wanted to keep it nice. I wanted to keep a lot of action. I want to start right from the year that you started in the NHL. So we're going to the Nashville Predators. This is the year 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
So now you didn't just get called up. You were up for a big part of the year. You played closer to about 21 games, okay?
Yeah.
You had a good amount of PIMs. You got some points. I want to talk about your first game, brother, in the National Hockey League.
Yeah. So when I got called up, we were playing in Columbus. I was with Nashville, and you know, Jody Shelley's obviously they're a tough guy, but
Big Jody Shelley.
yeah, he can throw a bomb. He's got
Oh, yes.
like a sledgehammer in his back pocket and throws it at you. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, so my first shift, I step on the ice
So in Columbus.
in Columbus.
Okay.
Right? I step on the ice, and all of a sudden I'm on a clear-cut breakaway 5 seconds in. My first shift.
Come on.
Yeah, I swear to God. I'm like, boom. It's just me and Mark Denis, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, okay, I got to go top glove. And I would have missed a soccer net. I mean, I was squeezing my stick so hard, it just went like, I was like, what was that?
So you did it dump in on a
Yeah,
breakaway.
yeah. Dump it from the hash mark somehow. But anyway, so, yeah, I was upset, and I went to the bench, and I thought about it for a second, and then I was like, well, what, like, all right. I go out next shift, and I'm like, Jody's lined up against me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do what I'm here for to do. Give him a little tap, and we squared off.
In the
and-
first period?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
my second shift.
Second shift. Okay.
Second shift, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we had a good fight. And I feel like I won the fight.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, Brett Harkins, he was on the team.
Yep.
And we played in Cleveland before, and he was like, he goes, Nathan, Jody's beat everyone this year. He beat The Rock. He goes, that was the only fight I've seen him lose all year.
Really?
So I was like, okay, that's good. And then sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say the next game we were playing back in Nashville.
Okay.
And we're playing the Panthers.
Okay.
And then Peter Worrell.
Big Pete Worrell.
Big Pete, yeah. He's big.
Yeah.
You're big.
He's really big.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
really. He's got his head come. He's skating out the zone. He gets the puck. He's like, I don't know if he knew I was a screw loose or two, but he's got his head down like this. So I'm like, boom! I just lay him out with a big body check.
Crushed him.
Yeah, it was a good body check. Anyway, so he gets up. I'm standing there. My gloves are off. I'm like, probably a mistake on my part, but
he obliged right away, or did you have to?
He was mad
Because of the hit.
Yeah, he
Okay.
wanted to go. So yeah, we fought. He probably won the fight, but he was
Hey man.
he was a big man.
Second game.
Second fight.
Okay, second fight.
Yeah.
Not too shabby, my man.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna switch it up a little bit to the
Yeah.
other part of the game, because you sniped that year, right?
Yeah.
You had you put up some points. I want to talk about the first NHL goal, my man, with the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, so we were playing Calgary, and Jerome McGinley, he had like, I think he had 46 goals at the time.
Okay.
And the whole pregame talk was, we can't let this guy score.
Yes.
If he scores, they're going to win, right?
Yep.
So, because he was just on fire. I think he had 52 that year.
Okay.
Anyway, so he ended up scoring 2 goals. We won the game 5-2, I remember. But I scored the 3rd goal. So I scored the game winner.
The
And
G-dub.
it eliminated Calgary from the playoffs.
No way.
Yeah, because that was the game they got officially eliminated, right? I was coming down on the left, like I came across in the neutral zone, got
Yeah.
the puck, went down, 1-on-1, and I kind of gave like a pull shot, right? 5-hole to Roman Turek.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Back-
Roman Turek, not
and
too
he
bad.
was a good goalie
Yes.
back. Anyway, so next day I'm on the bike reading the media report, and they're saying it was the absolute worst goal that Roman Turek let in all year. So I was thinking, oh, that's because it eliminated from playoffs, not because it was me that scored.
Yes.
I was like, that was a good shot. I was like,
Exactly.
Funny, yeah.
So now, thank you for sharing that. I love the stories of the first goals and first fights. It's always interesting and intriguing. So I appreciate that, brother.
Well, I should have been 5 seconds into my first shift, that first goal, but
You made up for it, though.
Yeah,
It was good.
yeah.
So now, Nathan, obviously we're in Toronto. Big game tonight. Let's go back to 2003. You get traded from Nashville Predators to the Toronto Maple Leafs, okay? First of all, how did you find out about it? Like being an Ontario boy, getting traded to Toronto, how did it first come to you?
it was on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Yeah, we were having a team party. I remember.
No way. Okay, I thought it was in the summer. Okay,
No.
so now this is really interesting.
Halfway through the year, we're at a team party, and I was just like,
Raymond
I
LaRose
get-
is in the house, in
I
the building.
get the call. Yeah, sorry. No,
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So I get the call, and I'm like at the team party. I get the phone. Oh yeah, you got to get on a plane tomorrow, and you're going to St. John.
Okay.
St. John's.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I guess I'm going home to pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
flew out to St. John's and started my Leafs career.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
St. John's, obviously historical place. I think it's the oldest city in Canada.
North America.
North America.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting
Yeah,
me.
no.
Now, have you ever been to Newfoundland before? Because dude,
Never.
the first time I went there, it was quite the experience.
It's different.
I couldn't imagine playing there.
They're the friendliest people in the world.
Yes.
Like, amazing place. But it's different.
What about George Street?
Oh, George Street. George Street. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's different, too.
We'll keep it at that.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so now what I'm really trying to get at here is the production.
Yeah.
Production for Toronto. The following season, the 2003-2004 season, it was what they said is it's a long shot for Nathan Perrott to make this hockey club,
Yeah.
right?
They had a split camp.
Okay. Yes,
half the
please.
guys went to Sweden.
Okay.
Half the guys went to Kitchener. I
Wow.
was in the Kitchener group.
Okay, which is more so the younger guys and
Basically, you're going to the American Hockey
Yes,
League, right?
okay.
Like, yeah,
Okay.
you know it is. And I went there. It was just with the attitude, I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna just throw it all out, do what I can, make the team. So, yeah, it ended up working out.
I'm not going to let you off that easily, though,
Yeah.
Nathan, because I know what it takes. Well, I almost knew what it takes to actually make an NHL club out of
Yeah.
training camp. I was
Yeah.
almost there, man. You must have had a spectacular camp. Tell me about some of the preseason games, because you must have made some, like,
I played
the
them
grass
all.
was
I
talking
played
to you.
8 of them.
All
and-
of them?
Yeah, and I fought every one.
Okay.
And
Who
I
was
had
your
points
bruise
in a
brother?
bunch
Who
of
was
them.
the bruise brother at that time?
Oh, it was Belak and Domi were on the team then. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Marchment was on the team.
Brian Marchment was there as well,
it's
so it was a pretty tough team.
Oh, we had a tough team, but we were playing against. I remember playing against Buffalo, and I had to fight Peters twice in the
you
one
had to fight
game.
Andrew twice.
Yeah, and I did well both
Yeah.
times. He's a tough guy. Like, did
So-
well, but yeah, he's
Extremely tough.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew Peters
Yeah.
and Jeff Peters.
yeah.
So, okay, the last meeting, well, I guess you wouldn't have had this meeting
Yeah.
because you didn't get sent down. But how did they tell you that you made the team that year?
Well, they came
Toronto.
up to me and said, "Can you do what you did in preseason the rest of the season?" And I was like, I said, "Fucking right, I can."
That's okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So then they're like, "Okay," and that was it.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
this season, you're up the whole year.
Yeah.
You almost had 200 penalty minutes, Nathan. You
I
put
only
in the
played
work.
40 games.
I know you did.
Yeah,
That was my next thing. And only
Yeah.
40 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 174 to be exact. But, I mean, this is at a time where getting close to 200 penalty minutes is a really big deal because the game is
Yeah.
starting to change.
Yeah.
You put in a lot of work that year, my friend.
I had 16 fighting majors that year.
Really?
And I love Ty, but the guy, he played 71 games that year,
Yeah.
and he got 17 fights.
Okay.
And honestly,
Yeah.
Ty's he's a beast of a human being. Like,
Yes. Legend.
crazy legend, yes. But like, if I would have played 41 games, I would have had 17 fights. But yeah, you know what I mean. But,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But,
think we would have had
Yeah.
the league leader in fights if he had gotten.
yeah. Well, I always think about that with a guy like like Ryan Reeves. The guy's obviously crazy tough, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
But how many times does he fight a year?
Right now, maybe 8 to 10?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that-
8 to
would
10.
you agree?
How many times did you fight a
In
year?
the AHL, probably about 35 to 40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had between 37 was my most in a
Yep.
season, and I think in the AHL 25 was my least.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
It's different.
Yeah, I had 16 fights in 40 games in the NHL. Right.
It's so awesome,
yeah.
man.
My first season I played 20. Well, I can't remember the Nashville, but I still had
21
Yeah,
games.
I played 21 games, and I think I had 13 or 14 fights. Something
With
like
74 PIMs. You almost had 100 PIMs.
Yeah, I
in
got
the
a
20
funny
games.
story there. So we're in Colorado playing.
I love funny
Colorado.
stories.
So Barry Trotz comes into the room. We're getting beat. Second intermission. He's looking around. He's like, I'm sitting in the corner trying to hide, right? And he's like, fucking Perrott, you think you're here to score goals or something? I'm like, I got 10 fights in 13 games, Barry. Like, what? Anyway, so and he goes around and makes fun of everyone in the room, and I go out, fight Scott Parker, do well, beat him.
The original sheriff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was in the movie. He was talking about me in that movie.
Okay.
When he was cutting a deal with me, he left out the part when I said to him, "If you don't fight me, I'm going to run Patrick Waugh."
Whoa.
He left that out in the movie.
Okay.
But that's what I said
Yeah,
to him.
okay.
So he didn't want to fight. I'm like, well, if you don't fight him, I'm going to run Waugh. And he's like, okay, just stand back and square off. I'm like, sure, Scott, you're 6'5". Okay, I'll square off with you. Thanks. Thanks. But anyway.
And he's the big.
Oh, yeah.
This guy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good fight, but after the game, I get the too little, too late. I'm like, well, behind my breath, mind you, I'm like, you fight him then. You know what I mean? But the
Yeah.
guy's a beast. You met
Oh,
him?
yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
is huge.
Yes.
He is
very, very big
yeah.
man. Very, very big
Anyway,
man.
so yeah, but
So,
Kind of fun.
all right. So now, keeping with this same theme, I want to tie this into the following season, the NHL lockout year. Okay. So
Yeah.
now, me and you playing against each other. This is when the AHL was the NHL.
yeah.
How tough was the AHL in 2004-2005 NHL lockout
Yeah,
season,
it was,
Nathan
I
Perrott?
was nervous tying my skates most days. It was like, I gotta go. They're trying to like looking for excuses.
But let's tell them the reason why. Like,
Yeah.
how many legit AHL or NHL heavyweights were on each roster that year?
At least 4. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you being an NHL guy,
Yeah.
were the NHL teams encouraging the tough guys to play in the AHL that lockout season just to kind of protect their young guys? Or what was the reason for it, Nathan?
Well, you had to play, right?
True.
You had to play somewhere.
You had to play somewhere.
I remember Belak went over to England and played.
Yes, that's
Some
when he
guys
went to
were going to
Coventry.
Europe and
Yeah.
whatever. I was told I had to go to St. John's. I was on a 2-way contract.
Okay.
So I had to go to St. John's. And it was good for me. But like, well, I had 35 fighting majors that year. Still had 16 goals though, mind you.
16 goals,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah, but,
so
yeah.
the same kind of year as back in the junior
Yeah,
days where you're
yeah.
sniping,
Yeah.
fighting.
Well, I was
It probably
lucky I
did
had
good
good
for your
players.
confidence though, right,
Well, I
Nathan?
had some good players to play with, but yeah, it was, you know what I mean? Like, I like to play hockey too, and
Yes.
you're fighting, trying to help your team win, right?
Yes.
Like that's why you fight, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, you want to be the toughest guy, right?
Yeah.
And I always had that. I want to be the toughest guy, right?
Yes.
But I want to help my team win more importantly, right?
Let me add to this a little bit because I'm remembering some conversations that we have that I just wanted the audience to hear. So now, usually when I ask, ex-tough guys that had to play the role, and I say to them, you know what, if you could be a goal scorer, would you have done that? And they're like, yes, you know what, I did the role to play at the highest levels. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I asked Nathan Perrott about the same question, he's like, you know what, Mac, I just really liked fighting. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like, now I'm talking back starting in the junior days, though, where it was a little bit more fun for us.
Yeah. Well, I remember playing a TSN game against North Bay, and I just scored a big goal, and I'm still out there. I'm lining up at the center ice, and I'm like, well, I scored a pretty sweet goal, but I got to beat someone up. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
going
TV
across
game.
from the guy, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. You get it. I don't know if it's played it to you. But I just, I whack the guy, let's go. And he's looking at me like, I'm supposed to be calling you on. Not you calling me on. Yeah, so I made sure I had a fight every TV game, though, back in the OHL. Yeah.
So, and thank you for sharing that,
Yeah.
Nathan. So now another thing that I wanted to touch up on, because I love this topic so much, is the St. John's Maple Leafs that year. You guys were so tough, Nathan, okay? It was so intimidating. We were talking before the recording that there was one game in Rochester, New York, where you guys started all your tough guys. Now, the visiting team has to put in their lineup before the home team. So the home team coach gets to see who the St. John's Maple Leafs are starting. And they're starting Nathan Perrott, Mark Morrow, Polinack, Jay Harrison. I don't even know. You guys were stacked.
Yeah,
okay?
we had a lot of tough guys.
So now Randy Cunningham says to me, Mac, you know what? They're starting all their tough guys. I'm going to have you, Jeff, Gosted. You guys are going out there. Now Nathan Perrott, he's going to be out there, Mac. I'm going to need you to keep it kosher with him and get things going. Translation, McMorrow, you have Perrott. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Didn't take us long to figure it out, did it?
It didn't, but Nathan, the funniest thing about it is there was a problem with the ice.
Oh, yeah.
And they delayed the start of the game.
Yeah.
So the national anthem was there.
Yeah.
We're out there. We know we're going to fight. There's a problem with the ice. They're trying to fix it. And I'm just thinking to myself,
Can we
could
just
there
get
be
this
any
over?
other worse situation? I got to fight Nathan Perrott right now. Let's get this thing over with. But I think we had a beauty of a fight.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. We always showed respect for each other,
Oh, yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Always appreciated fighting you. I knew I was never going to get a cheap shot, and I hope that it was the same way.
Yeah,
the other way around,
yeah.
man.
No, it was always good. I never tried to cheap shot guys, but I'll say this, just karma. I cheap shotted Jamie Allison one game,
Okay.
and it was an accident. Jamie's a beast. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
We're fighting, and the linesman kind of came in, and I just threw one late, caught him. It was accidental.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but dropped him, and then
It happens.
the next time we played, he obviously wanted to fight me, and I was thinking about squirrels or something. I don't know. But all of a sudden he broke my orbital bone.
He broke your orbital.
Oh,
bone.
yeah. Boom. He's a big lefty, right? Never
Yeah,
do
oh,
well
yeah.
against
No,
lefties.
that's true,
So,
that's true.
Yeah, but yeah, you got me good. But I
now-
deserved it.
So now, Nathan, I wanted to. Now we've talked about the OHL a little bit tonight. I wanted to talk about the experience of you being a father and having your son go through the OHL rankings, and then of course now the pro rankings, like, what kind of feeling is that, man, to know that your son's doing so well and is actually doing the battle that we did?
Yeah, it's exciting. Like, I'm very proud of him. Obviously, he's a really good hockey player, and he's a bit like sees the ice a lot better than I ever did. But I've had these since I was 3 years old. But anyways, so he sees the ice well, he plays hard, but he's tough, right? And he can fight, but he just, he's had 10 fights or 11 fights now, but he's had 10 fights in his junior career. My junior career, I had 32 in junior B. I had 32 my first year in the
A lot
OHL.
more, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fights, right? So he doesn't have the experience, and I'm trying to tell him, like, playing tough will help you have a little more space, a little more time.
So Nathan, when we were talking before the recording, you gave some pretty good fatherly advice to him recently, which may have helped him. Do you mind sharing that?
I told him he played his first exhibition game down in Indy Fuel.
Yes.
And he was -3, had a terrible game, and he was all upset. I said, well, just try and play meaner tomorrow.
Get
be
noticed,
mean.
right?
Just go out there and be mean, and I won't say exactly what I said, but it was, but and he went out. He ended up fighting, and he won. I'd say he convincingly won the fight.
Yeah.
He hit the guy in the chin, dropped him.
Yeah.
And then he got a nice assist after, and he got called up the next day to Rockford.
So now he's called up to Rockford Ice
Yes,
Dogs.
he is.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Hey,
Yeah. So
He's gonna, that's incredible. And I appreciate little stories like that because that's really what it's all about. Like, guys that have the experience, if they're lucky enough to have children that follow in their footsteps, we can really tell them what's what and who's who. Like, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it was more of a confidence thing with him. Like, he was a little intimidated going to pro, his first year pro.
Of course.
And he wasn't sure if he could handle himself. And he got in that fight and he did well. And then after that, he was playing really well.
Yeah.
Physically, finishing his hits.
Yeah.
Moving the puck. And he got nice assists. But he just made him feel a lot more confident in his ability, right? So
Listening to dad is always a smart thing.
Kids don't listen to their parents very much. At least my kids don't. I don't know about you.
I hear you. Well, I appreciate that too. So Nathan, just wrapping things up. I mean, this has been a jam-packed episode. We fit as much stuff as we could in here. I just want you to tell the audience what you're doing right now with the firefighting and how it's a little bit unique, being the energy place, right?
Well, yeah, I was working as a firefighter at the nuclear power station up north, Bruce Power, and I'm still a volunteer firefighter, but I just took a new role at Bruce Power. I'm a building mechanic now.
Right on. Congratulations.
Just to get on to days,
All
right?
right on.
The firefighters are shift workers.
Yeah.
So you got to work nights and stuff, and it was making it hard to go watch my kids to play hockey.
What's your prediction for tonight's Leaf game?
4-1 Leafs.
4-1 Leafs. You heard it here first. Gotta go with that. Nathan, I really, really appreciate you coming on, brother. It was an honor to have a former rival and current friend on my show. I wanted to thank the listeners for tuning in to another episode of The Sheriff. We'll see you next time, guys. Woo!